Hello, welcome to WoundReference, Achieving Better Outcomes More Efficiently. My name's Tiffany Ham, and I am a BSN. I've been in wound care and hyperbaric medicine for about 23 years, and I have board certifications as a CWS and then in hyperbaric medicine. And I joined the WoundReference team about 2 years ago, and I'm very excited to show you our new project. I want to tell you a little bit about what WoundReference is. It's a clinical decision support platform for wound care and hyperbaric clinicians at the point of care. And that's very important to know that we're trying to provide you solutions at the bedside. It's accessible by mobile, smartphone, iPad, your desktop computer. And so I'd like to kind of explain to you why we created WoundReference, give you some background. So we know that chronic wounds are burdensome. They're burdensome to patients, caregivers, and the healthcare industry. Annually, Medicare spends about $25 billion on chronic wounds, and about 50% of those don't heal. So we went looking for answers. And what we found was there's a gap between evidence and practice. The average med student receives only about 9 hours of instruction for chronic wounds or even acute wounds in med school. And there is no residency. So what happens? Everyone has to learn on the job, in the trenches, or you have to leave and go to seminars, and that takes a lot of time away from work and family. And then also you might have to do extensive literature searches and kind of weed through the articles. And so we created WoundReference to address these issues. We wanted to provide an unbiased approach to knowledge and bridge that gap. So we also want you to know that our strict editorial process is completely evidence-based. We do not take any advertisements to ensure that we represent an unbiased opinion. So let's get started. I would very much like to show you how WoundReference can help you achieve better outcomes and be more efficient. So I'm going to start with a typical problem that you might face in your wound clinic day. And that might be, how can I find the right product for my patient? And once I pick that product, how do I know if it's covered by Medicare, and what would it cost the patient if it was covered by Medicare, or if they didn't have insurance, what would that cost them? So I'm going to direct you here to our homepage on WoundReference. And if you take a look, you can access most anything on our homepage by each one of these options. And next to each one of these options, it tells you if it's a free or a basic or a free or a paid option. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to access the Product Navigator, which is a free option for our basic users. And we're going to open this navigator. Now this navigator has over 1,500 products and allows you to choose the best product for your patient. So once you do, you have to think about what is the dressing or product that you're interested in. Well, you can do a power search always from up here, but I just like to go right here and go straight to my product. And in this instance, today I'm going to be looking at Prisma. So I just type Prisma in to my search, and up here, just click right here on Promogram and Prisma. So what that's going to do is it's going to take you to our Essentials page about Prisma right here. These are the sizes that they come in, and I'm going to click here on Prisma and going to get some information about the product straight from the manufacturer. This will take me down to the Essentials page where I can quickly find out what the HCPCS code is for that. I can look at the features, which are a quick rundown of the way you can use Prisma, the wear time for Prisma, things like that. Very handy. There's also product reimbursement. And remember what we talked about, you're asking questions about, does Medicare cover Prisma? Well, yes, they do cover Prisma if you order it through a durable medical equipment supplier. And so what you can see here is an estimated out-of-pocket. This would be for a patient who doesn't have insurance at all. So you could quickly go to this search button. It's about $124 for a box of 10 Prisma. And this is going to take you to a Google page for all dressings that are Prisma. So right here, you can do that for your patient there in the room. Or you can look at the DME and find out that for each Prisma that's billed out to Medicare, the coinsurance will be about $484, and Medicare is going to pay the DME about $24 per Prisma, and they allow one change per week. So then from there, what we're going to do is I'm going to acclimate you to our icons. Next to each product are 3 icons. One looks like a clipboard, a heart, and a grid. I'm going to first take you to the heart. The way WoundReference is designed is to learn your favorites, to learn what you like to use. So we're going to go ahead and take this heart, since I like Prisma, and we're going to favorite it. This says, oops, I had already added it to my favorites, but in real life what it would say is you've just added this to your favorites. It's very important that you do this because this will automatically categorize products for you. So I'm going to show you how that works. You're going to go up here now to favorites. You're going to look at your products. I have already favorited all the products that I like to use in my clinic. And here they will be categorized by my cellular tissue products, compression therapy, my dressings. And so I know that Prisma falls under dressings. I have 14 products in my dressings list that I use, and this feature categorizes those for me. So if you look here, you can look at any of these products that I have under dressings, and you can create these cheat notes. So right here under, per se, Acticoat, I created a 3-day wear time note. So you just click in on this and enter notes for yourself. Very handy feature. Now, once you do this and you gather up all your favorites categorized, what we can do is we can share this with workers within our clinic. So I can go look at my friend Jenny, and I can see what she likes or what she's using, or other APRNs and what they're using. I can also take this list of products that we're using that are maybe on the shelf and maybe we've made them into our formulary, and I can share this with, say, a nursing home or an LTAC or SNF. You just send this link to all the products. You can also ask other places like that to share their formularies with you. So it's very handy. So now we're going to go right back to the product navigator. If you recall, we were on Prisma and we looked at these 3 grids. So you favorited. Now I'm going to show you compare features. This is an amazing option that we have. Oftentimes I use this when drug reps would want me to try out a new product. And so this gives you evidence-based medicine all tied up into one place to compare features of like dressing. So on this instance, because Promogran falls into antimicrobial, this is going to compare to all antimicrobials within the WoundReference system. You can see a lengthy list here. And also you can see how important it was to favorite, because now all my favorites are at the top. And so these 5 products, let's say, are on my shelf. That's what I want to look at. So I can compare features by looking across the top here and picking 2. To make this a little more simple, I just want to show my favorites right now, and that will kind of shorten this screen up a little bit. So right now I want to see what favorite of my favorites that are on my shelf, what can be used for high exudate, and what can be also used under compression. And what's going to happen is these columns are going to highlight. Sorry for the delay. There we go. And this is telling you that any one of these products would be fine to place on a wound with high exudate and under compression. And you can use this for any of these items up here. If you want to start over, you just reset the sort, and that will start you back over. And all of these options are free. So now I'd like to show you an option that is not included in the free that I think would be extremely helpful to your practice, and that is the patient handout for education. So if you go back to your icons right here, you know, as nurses and providers, providing patient education is imperative because it helps increase patient compliance. And so we've created customized product handouts, and they go by, you have to have your zip code entered in up front under your profile, but once you do, what's going to happen is it's going to print on Prisma 6 sections of information. Now, if you print all 6 of these, which I'm going to do right now, it does create a more lengthy handout, but you can also put a message in here if you want them to see this message. Then you go to generate your handout, And what you'll see is a customized handout. Your logo will be up here. Here is my message and who I am. This tells the patient about Promogran and Prisma product information, pricing and suppliers, and copay for your DME. Now you can shorten that, and by shortening that, you can simply just click. If you wanted to make that into a one-page handout, then you would just print the product information and unclick the rest of these. And by doing that and generating that handout, that would take it down to about one page. But this is fantastic because you can print this on the spot and hand to the patient and document that in your nursing or provider note, or you can email that to family. So incredibly important feature that you can get if you are on the Pro membership.